That's why we're here.
Just pick this a little bit so I can really...
Yep.
Okay, so I'm first just going to test a couple things and see if we can...
That's how you can tell.
I'm just going to see how it does. So one thing that's great about this is I don't have to measure where I've placed this fabric or your material. I can just do a background scan and see exactly where
knows where the product is.
Yeah. So it's a great way to use up your scraps and just not have to sit and
figure it out. Yep.
Yeah.
That is very nice.
Okay. So it's a white background, it's a little hard to see, but we'll just pop that on right here. And I'm going to change my settings here. I'm going to let up. We'll keep our pressure at negative. We'll actually do that -2. So basically, I'm telling you to just lift up on the cartridge here a little bit instead of pushing down.
Yep.
And I'm just going to let that out a little bit more. And let's see how it does. There we go. Yep. It cut beautifully. Wow.
Wow.
So let's go ahead and do something fun here. So, what's your name again?
Beth.
Beth? Okay. I would love you. You okay if I chop this all up?
Nope.
Yeah? Okay. So if you could just write a heart or your name or do kind of like a flower or like a fun little doodle there.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
One of your little cute critters.
I can't draw it. That's just like stamp on.
That's fine. It's not ugly. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and scan this in. Here's your sticking the mat here. And this does. So I'm going to just say I want to scan and save this data to my hard drive. So scan that in.
Do you know how big of a hard drive it has?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it has a USB drive on the side.
Okay, so
when I train people,
it.
I always recommend don't even save it to your hard drive, just put everything on your flash drive.
Yep.
Because we have an online program now called Scan and Cut Canvas, so you can take any of your files that you've scanned in or any SVG files, manipulate them. It works much more like a Corel Draw or Illustrator. You have a lot more options.
Sure.
And if you're always using your flash drive, then you can just always transport those files wherever you need.
Take it with you.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just recognizing your drawing there. Those machines to the ringer. So there you can see your flower. And now we have a couple different options on how we want it to recognize that vector cut. So we can use this scanner. It is a 300 dpi scanner, so it's print resolution. So if you wanted to archive old family photos or whatever, you could do that. But when you're scanning into cut, it's not going to just look at the image. It's going to look at the image and say, okay, where do I need to cut for this image?
Right.
So this outermost option is going to take your flower, and it's just going to create a cut line around that outermost edge, okay? And I'm just going to zoom in so we're only looking at your flower. I'm making these machines think a lot today. There we go. So I know it's tiny, but can you see how it's ignoring all that interior stuff? So now if I choose that one, it's going to even cut out all of these spots here. Okay?
Oh, wow.
And then this bottom one is going to just take where each of the lines that you've drawn, it's going to make a single cut. So basically this flower would fall apart because it's just going to cut every petal kind of as its own thing. So we're going to get tricky here, and we're going to do that second option. Okay, so we're going to save that. And now it's saved to my hard drive. And I'm going to go ahead and put our material back on our mat. And just stick it this way. This is fun stuff. Did you come up with this?
No. Like we're working.
We're kind of partnered up with
cool.
Boutique.
Oh, okay.
She's got a blog. We've got a website of our own.
Oh, fun. That's awesome. So we're going to load that in. And now I'm just going to go through. We have hundreds of patterns that come built on, but I've saved that pattern that you've drawn. And there's your flower. So now I'm going to go, and each of those outlines, each of those cut lines, the machine looks at it as a separate file in case you want to go in and maybe delete all those little petals. But I want to go ahead and unify them and make it all as one, so I can manipulate it and change it as one file. So this would just be like grouping in Illustrator or CorelDRAW. The machine calls it unifying. So we're going to go ahead and unify that file. And then we're going to just do a background scan and see exactly where our material is, and then we can resize it and know that we're only
That's what I was
cutting
going to ask
on.
you, if you can resize this, because...
Yep, so we're now going to take that and we're going to blow it up and cut that out of our fabric area. This will be fun.
Yeah, one more.
Okay, so we see the white background. You can also change, I have it on kind of a grayscale, but if we do that, you'll see a little bit more definition.
Sure.
I like it on grayscale if I'm using a lot of really vibrant and bright fabrics. So now I'm just going to go ahead and resize this, keeping the aspect ratio the same. It looks like it was a little small, so we missed a couple of those smallest little petals there when we scanned it in. Yeah, that did not pick up some of the petals that I wanted it to, but we get the idea of how it does that. I think the fluorescent lighting is kind of affecting some of our our scanning a little bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and just move that up a bit there. And now are we ready for it? Let's try this. Look at this fabric we're cutting out. This material. It's like a, I'll show you whatever. It's cool rhinestone. Yeah.
Did you use the built-in design?
No, she drew this. But I think with the fluorescent lighting, the scan. Remember at Full Market it was doing the same thing? Like it wasn't picking up everything, kind of. Oh, and that one didn't cut through, so I'm going to run it through one more time. Yeah. Well, I did a test and it did fine. But I think it was the curves and stuff.
Yep.
We did thicker paper over there. We went up one, and then we cranked up the speed, and it went through the curves pretty good, faster.
That's interesting. Yeah, I always put my skin low.
Now, how does the speed how does the speed
That's what I was
affect
gonna say.
the cutting?
We think that it just went faster with the material, so there was more time for the white to make a clean, quick cut versus dragging.
And it's funny because I always slow my
You know, it builds up some momentum in slices versus.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was my different show.
I like that. Yeah, it's not fun though.
Oh,
That is. I like that a lot. What's the thickness on that?
Beth, you want to get the card out?
Oh,
I'm just going to run it one more time. Aaron has it.
what's that?
So if I was doing this again, I would have increased the blade, so I was doing less runs, but I'm keeping the blade as is, because if I increase it too much, now that we've already sliced through almost everything, we'd probably chop through our mat a little bit, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
Oh, cool. So it's really just trial error. I recommend everybody keeps kind of a cut journal with their machine, that way they can keep track of how deep to cut it out.
Yeah, because that first cut, I mean, it went right through.
Oh yeah,
no problem.
it didn't even touch the mat, which is what we want to see. I can't believe we accidentally lined it up on the rhinestone so perfectly there.
is it cutting it?
Great.
Yeah, it's just on those curves, like I think here we cut it through and it happened to not go through any of the thicker pieces.
Uh-huh.
And so I think on some of these curves where it was, yeah, here. I think I could have actually done a small, I don't think I needed that last run. Just to kind of make sure here. There we go. Yeah. I wish more people were doing this, bringing stuff and saying, cut this, because this is the fun part.
Try it out. Yep.
Yeah, I just cut some sequin film. I have more in my bag.
Oh, fun.
It's what sequins are made of, but they were making cheap material, 4x6 sheets, and it went right through it.
There's your flower you drew.
Cool.
That's a great sketch.
Excited to check out your vlog, Beth. Awesome.
So this machine cuts anything.
Denim, leather, fabric, canvas, wood veneer,
Oh, wood veneer even.
acetate,
Yeah.
all types of papers. Anything we recommend under 1.5 millimeters.
I like
thick,
playing Will It Cut
we've
It.
done too much.
There you go. So I would say that cut it.